Hey everybody, it's Little Green Kitty with the Daily Greens. I have a press release to go through here and a few other things to add to it. You can find links to all of these resources in the description box below, as well as a link to our website. You can also find a link to all of these resources by going to our website, thedailygreens.org, and looking in our video section or our resources section. All right, so this is dated Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. Former GE engineer and Chinese businessman charged with economic espionage and theft of GE's trade secrets. An indictment unsealed today charges Xiao Zhang, 56, of Niskayuna, New York, and Xiao Zhizeng, 47, of Liaoning Province, China, with economic espionage and conspiring to steal General Electric's trade secrets surrounding turbine technologies, knowing and intending that those stolen trade secrets would be used to benefit the People's Republic of China. So, Mr. Zhang was working for GE, he was stealing their secrets, and he was sending them over to the PRC, and he knew what he was doing, and he was intending it to benefit them. According to the 14-count indictment, Zhang, while employed at GE Power and Water in Schenectady, New York, as an engineer specializing in sealing technology, exploited his access to GE's files by stealing multiple electronic files, including proprietary files involving design models, engineer drawings, configuration files, and material specifications having to do with various components and testing systems associated with GE gas and steam turbines. Zhang emailed and transferred many of the stolen GE files to his business partner, Chinese businessman Xiao Zhizeng, who was located in China. They used the stolen trade secrets to advance their business interests into companies which research, develop, and manufacture parts for turbines. The indictment also alleges that they conspired to commit economic espionage as the theft of GE's trade secrets surrounding various turbine technologies were done knowing and intending that the thefts would benefit the PRC and one or more foreign instrumentalities, including LTAT, NTAT, and some universities and an institute. The defendants, through LTAT and NTAT, received financial and other support from the Chinese government and coordinated with Chinese government officials to enter into research agreements with Chinese state-owned institutions to develop turbine technologies. Zhang was working for GE. He had access to files, design models, materials, all those kinds of things. He sent them over to Zhang, who was in China, and together they used that to get research agreements from the Chinese government to build these turbines. The indictment alleges a textbook example of the Chinese government's strategy to rob American companies of their intellectual property and to replicate their products in Chinese factories, enabling Chinese companies to replace the American company first in the Chinese market and later worldwide. Both fair competition and incentivized innovation require that American companies be able to rely on the secrecy of technological advances forged through their talent and tenacity. All right, so this indictment speaks a lot about the business side of it. One thing it doesn't mention: the technologies themselves that were being stolen. This indictment points out mainly that the trade wars, especially right now, are going on to try to counteract what United States officials view as an affront on the American economy by China trying to become a mixed market instead of just, or a mixed economy instead of just a market economy. They said that first these companies would replace Chinese companies first in China and then later worldwide. So China, so far, being a market economy, has been making cheap goods that it then sells overseas. Now they are trying to move from being just a market economy to being a mixed economy, meaning that they want to use their own goods within their country as well. They also want to have better goods for people. They don't want to just be the one that people turn to get mass-produced cheap goods that are going to fall apart. Spies, agents, whatever you want to call them, have already been found guilty of going to facilities, for instance, T-Mobile, and stealing a piece of technology. In that case, it was a piece of a robot that was used in some sort of AI manner. There has also been another story recently about a Chinese, I believe she was a manager at an airport. She had been using her clearance there to move packages in and out of busy airports. She had also hired some people to do work on 2 of her properties in New York. The people that she hired had restricted visas. They were only supposed to be working on Chinese embassy or any other facilities that are owned in the US by the Chinese government. So this is another thing that they have not mentioned, even though they do mention it being a textbook example of how China sneaks in with companies and stuff. They're leaving out the security aspect, especially cybersecurity aspect. Okay, so you can find a link to this, like I said, in the description box below. You can download the actual indictment down here. We're just going to look at this quick. What is a turbine? An upstream rotating gas compressor, a downstream turbine on the same shaft, a combustion chamber or area called a combustor. Okay? Internal combustion engines. This is something from NASA about a turboprop engine. The turboprop uses a gas turbine core to turn a propeller. The propeller is what is going to develop thrust. Yeah, okay. Propeller engines develop thrust by moving a large mass of air through a small change in velocity. Okay, propellers are very efficient and can use nearly any kind of engine to turn the prop. So this will be linked, of course, if you want to look at that. Now, just in case you're thinking, well, I mean, that's some kind of crazy jet engine turbine. That can't be what GE is, GE doesn't do crazy space stuff, right? They don't do crazy space stuff at all. Thank you all for joining. Like and subscribe. Check out our website, thedailygreens.org. A link to that will be in the description box below as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day, everybody.